Asalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dinanda Fauzan Hanif from BBI to be class, and in here I would like to tell a story about a book by Risa Saraswati, which is the title of the book is Hendrick. So, Risa is someone who has blessing more than anyone else. This can be seen since she was a child. Risa often talks to her invisible friends in a room on the roof of her grandfather's house in Bandung. In there, she has 5 friends who are handsome but don't look like other people in the area near his grandfather's house. As she grew older, Risa realized that her friends who were people who had died, but she didn't mind their existence. They even lied to tell Risa about their life in the past before they died. This book tells the story of Hendrick, one of Risa's close friends during her life in the Dutch colonial era in Bandung. Maybe this book tells about the life of ghosts, but the contents are not about the starred things that make you afraid of it. This book tells of Hendrick's experience as a human being in the past that was full of ups and downs with his family and friends, and also tells how he finally died at a young age. So one day, Hendrick suddenly came to Risa to tell a story about his life, which Hendrick had been keeping a lid on. Of course, as a good friend, Risa doesn't mind listening to his story, which she is also curious about. The story begins with the arrival of a Dutch couple to Bandung by a boat. After the death of his sister Angeline Konings, Hendrick's presence is a blessing for the couple, Jeremy and Nina Konings. They live in peace and happiness in Bandung. Jeremy, Hendrick's father, is a quinine researcher in Bandung, and Nina, Hendrick's mother, is a kind mother and loves her family very much. This is the perfect place to raise our son Hendrick, honey. With the green mountains and spices, I can continue my research here, Jeremy said. You're right, our leader Hendrick would be very happy to live here, Nina replied. Hendrick and his family live in a rather nice house. According to Jeremy, Bandung is the perfect place for his little family to live. Hendrick was sent to a special school for Dutch children who live there. He became popular with girls because of little Hendrick's good looks. He was very happy with his life at that time because his parents loved him very much and also was loved at school. And because of that, Hendrick grows up to be a spoiled child and has a high ego. One day, Hendrick smelled a sweet aroma from behind the walls of his house. What is this fragrance? I've never smelled anything better than my mom's cookies, Hendrick said. With high curiosity, Hendrick climbed the side wall of his house using a ladder that a handyman liked to use at his house. It was there that he met Hans, one of Risa's 5 other friends. The sweet aroma he smelled came from the cake that Oma Rose, Hans' grandmother, had made for him. Turns out you're Jeremy and Nina Conning's son, Hendrick. You can come anytime to taste my pie, Oma Rose replied with a bright smile. Okay, I'll come here often, Oma Rose and Hans, Hendrick said happily. But the happiness that one by one appeared in his life seemed to be the beginning of disaster. One day, Hendrick's father, Jeremy Konings, had to be taken to the hospital. Jeremy's heart disease returned after a long time. Nina Konings went to drop off her husband and left Hendrick with an aunt who worked at their house. Oh, my son, I'm sorry that I will be accompanying your father in the hospital for a while. But you don't have to worry. There are uncles and aunts who will accompany you at home. I will come over from time to time, Nina Conning said worriedly. But I want to go with you guys. The house wouldn't be the same if you weren't around, Hendrick said spoiledly. Don't worry, it won't take a long time. Let's pray for your father's recovery, honey, Nina soothed. Little Hendrick's heart was worried about his father. He was also sad that his mom and dad had to stay in the hospital longer than they should have. For 2 weeks, Nina Connings went back and forth from home and hospital to arrange things. During that time, Hendrick always did not feel at home even though he was accompanied by a handyman and an aunt who worked at his house. Hendrick often walks in the cool land of Bandung alone, thinking why God has brought this sadness to him. But when he was walking alone, a Dutch girl who looked older than him approached Hendrick. "Oh, hi, who are you? I've never seen you before." "Oh, what happened?" the girl asked. Hendrick told all the complaints to Helena, the girl's name. It was like he had known Helena for a long time. Helena is a nice person. She had the figure of an older sister to Hendrick. They got closer to each other after several times Hendrick invited her to play at Hendrick's house. Several times Helena also met with Nina Connings when she came home to pick up some things from the house. Nina felt calm, knowing that Helena's presence could help ease her little Hendrick's sad feelings. One Sunday, Nina Connings took Hendrick to see his father, who was getting better than before. Hendrick was very happy and immediately hugged his beloved father. After not seeing him for a long time, Hendrick was crying after holding it all this time. "Oh, Dad, why didn't you come home for a long time? I really miss you. Let's play together like we used to again," Hendrick said sadly. "Hendrick, you must be a strong man. Take good care of your mom like I take care of her with all of my heart. Remember, the man is not a crybaby. Never give up, no matter how heavy the problem you are facing," Jeremy Conning said. But Hendrick didn't know that it would be the last message from his beloved father. After days, Jeremy Connings had a heart attack which resulted in his life could not be saved. Nina Conning is the one who is deeply saddened by this situation. A husband she loved very much left Nina alone. "Why does this happen? What have I done to make this happen to me?" said Nina Conning sadly. Seeing his mother's condition, the spoiled little Hendrick turned into a responsible child. The last message that Jeremy Conning said was always imprinted on Hendrick's mind. He could not cry. His father entrusted his mother to him. "Mom, please don't cry. Now Dad is not sick like before. Dad is happy in heaven, Mom. Don't be sad. You still have me by your side." Hendrick tried to calm his mother. "Shut up! It must be all your fault. Because of you, Jeremy died. Go away!" Nina Conning shouted to her only child. Of course, Nina Conning's words sobbed Hendrick and wept next to his father's grave. But little Hendrick tried to stop crying and left the place. It is known that the death of Jeremy Connings made Nina Conning's depression relapse. This also happened when Nina lost her first daughters, Helena and Annabelle. Every day doesn't feel the same as before. The house that was once warm has now turned into a hell of sadness. Nina Connings had not wanted to see Hendrick ever since. Nina also refused the food given by the aunt. One day, Oma, Rose, and Hans came to visit just to give snacks to the Conning family, who were overcome with sadness. "Excuse me, Nina, Hendrick, it's me, Rose and Hans. We bring you pies for you to enjoy," Oma Rose said. Nina Connie, who still can't escape from the sadness, opens the door for them. With his mother condition like that, Hendrick always accompanied him. Hendrick's day went by again, but his resolve began to waver. Sadness over the loss of a beloved father figure began to haunt him. One day, Helena came to visit Hendrick's house. Later on, how surprised Hendrick was when Nina Conning said that, Angeline, my daughter that I've been waiting for a long time. Why are you here? Come on, I'm so glad you're here with me again," Nina said. Suddenly, Hendrick and Helena were surprised to hear that. However, Hendrick concludes that his mother feels that Helena is his older sister Angeline, who is back in her life. Hendrick felt that Helena's arrival could make his mother feel at ease. Therefore, he begged Helena to visit more often. "Helena, could you come here more often? It seems my mother felt more at ease when you came here. I beg you, just until she feel better, okay?" Hendrick begged. Hearing this, Helena, who felt sorry for the condition of the Connings family, which was not what it used to be, agreed to her friend's request. Helena visited more frequently in the following days. Maybe this will make Nina Connings feel a lot better. Little Hendrick, however, felt that he had been replaced. He was happy that his mother was no longer crying, but Hendrick's feeling cannot be lied to. Until one day, the rain came when Hendrick's body was very unwell. He had a high fever. Hendrick felt that the rain was saddened by his suffering. He got out of bed and walked to his garden. There, his body was rained so heavily that his hot body seemed to be cool. But of course, rain is not a cure for his illness. Poor little Hendrick fell in the rain. Now, his body is asleep on the wet grass in his backyard. "Dad, I miss you so much. The house is no longer the same as it used to be when Father was with us. I love that it rains as if I know," Dad said. Hendrick said quietly because his body was already very weak. "Mother, I beg you to continue to live happily, okay? I'm very tired right now. I want to meet Dad soon. Will the rain also bring me to meet you, Dad?" And those were the last words Hendrick spoke before he actually died. That is the end of the story of this book. So what lesson can we learn after listening to Hendrick's story together? The handsome ghost with a heartbreaking life story. Of course, this has to do with family. Family is the greatest gift that God has given to all of us. Be useful and care for your family members while they are still around. Because after they are left you, the only prayer we can do for their safety. Okay, maybe that is from me. Thank you for watching this video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.